everybody, this is Deb. As I promised, I was going to do a tutorial for you on how to make a diaper cake. I've already made it, but then I disassembled it just so I could show you how to do it. Today's items that we'll be using is, you can go to the Dollar Tree for most of this. Believe it or not, most of it is at the Dollar Tree. The little bunch of flowers I got, there's 6 on a stalk. I think I paid $1 at the Dollar Tree. The little stuffed, as we have over here, come here, Ducky. We have a little Ducky, and he is attached to a tulip. And they come in a 3-pack for $1 for the tulips. And over here, I found these at Walmart. They were on special for $1. And it's just a feather duster that I took the feathers out of that will be part of our Ducky display. I took the yellow ones out, so I'm going to set that one aside. Also over here I have some Easter eggs that I filled with chocolates that are already pre-wrapped, so that way there's no risk of getting any contamination. I have 2 types of ribbon. This will be a 2-tier cake. I have the little footprints and baby pacifiers, and it says it's a boy on it, as well as a yellow. You can use whatever colors you like or are pleasing, or something that might be the colors of your of the baby shower that you might be going to. Over here I took this actually off of a wrapping paper and the roll, and I reinforced the ends of it here. As you can see, I am starting to reinforce this one with just some basic tape, so that way it gives it a little bit of a sturdier just sturdiness to it. So then I have some rubber bands, which we will need to gather up all of our diapers. I have a glue gun. Make sure you have plenty of glue sticks. I also have some little trinkets over here. They say it's baby on them. We'll be using those on the cake. I have some double-sided tape. Sometimes you need it, sometimes it won't work, depending on what you're working with. I have a pair of wire cutters, just simply so we can clip the little flowers off there. And I also have some packaging tape, which I love. You can get it at Walmart, and it is the Scotch brand packing tape. It helps whenever you're trying to maybe just get your ribbon to hold, so that way long enough you can put some hot glue on it, or reinforcing, your tubing from your cardboard tubing. I like to use paper towels as well. They're not as sturdy, but you can use the paper towels definitely for the height. Once you get your diaper cake made, you can pull the small tubing right here out that we are reinforcing, and you can put in a larger piece. Let's just say you have a large paper towel roll, or you have a large piece of tubing. Ta-da! Okay, this is the base of our cake, but I'm not going to show you the entire thing. So that way it gives us plenty of room to stack another tier on there. Here is our first tier that we're going to be working on today. Starting out, let me reposition my camera here. Hi everybody. Okay, let's get started here. One thing I did leave out was, please make sure that you spray your tubes with Lysol or some kind of a disinfectant spray. Just simply because this is going to be presented to a baby. We don't want to risk any germs getting on it. And another thing we have here, you're going to need this for your second tier. And this is simply so as we're building our cake out and attaching the rubber bands, once we get to a certain point, I don't have rubber bands big enough, so I just start putting them in and placing them in all the way around until I can get it big enough to fit this full-size tube, full-size lid, and then I can wrap the rubber band, tongue-tied today. I can take my lace and wrap it around on the inside, and then kind of squinch it up and be able to take it completely out of this. So this is just basically to help you hold your diapers in place. We're also going to need some kind of a pretty plate to put them on. This one I got for $1 at the Dollar Tree, just like I did most everything I've got. I forgot to tell you these little trinkets here I got at Michael's. And there was probably maybe 30 of them in a bag or something like that for just a few dollars. Not very much money. But anyway, what we're going to start out with, let me remove some of my items here that are not going to be at the start. Hold on to one rubber band and your tubing. I have already pre-clipped all of my flowers here, all of them. I have taken them off. And what I have done at the base of them is basically took a piece of tape. I think I have one already over here. I took a piece of tape, or you can use floral tape if you have it. I didn't have any. They too have that at the Dollar Tree, so you can get that pretty cheap. I just didn't have that. And you're going to wrap it all the way around the base of it. You don't want it to have a sharp point, so that way it doesn't puncture through the diapers when you go to place your flowers. Okay, we won't be using those yet either. What we are going to be using is our diapers. And what I have done already is, let me replace this with my small tubing here. This is just to start out with, and I have taken my diapers. Let me pull one out here and show you basically, I think I double tied that rubber band. I opened them up, and these are the Parents' Choice diapers that I got at Dillon's, I think is where I got them. And I just roll them. And you want to keep the design mostly to the inside. Of course, you know, mostly you're going to have little bitty things like this around the edge here, but that's okay. And we're going to want to face them all the same direction. So, I tuck this one in. And we started out with one and just kept adding until we had a total of 6 diapers in this round. Okay, now time for the ribbon. The top ribbon, I think we had this one. I got this at, actually, you're not going to believe it, the Dollar Tree. And it is a beautiful little ribbon. It's got pacifiers and baby hands and feet. And basically what we're going to do is, I like to start with a tube facing that direction so it doesn't roll off the table. And we're going to wrap it around your cake. Don't worry about getting it centered right now. We can do that once it is in place and secured. And once I get here, try to make sure your ribbon lines up really good because you want it to look as pretty as possible. And my ribbon is not wanting to work with me today. Try to get it as flat as you can. And I usually go over maybe an inch or two. And then I'm going to hold this back. I'm just going to fold it in half and lean it backwards. And I am going to place a strip of glue across there. And then we're going to fold it into place. If you have thin ribbon, what you might want to do is maybe take your scissors or something thin that you can slide up underneath this ribbon so that way it doesn't bleed through and grab a hold of the diaper. I usually stick my scissors up underneath here. But here in just a second I'll find my scissors. Okay, once we get that, then you're going to fold it back just a little bit and you're going to have plenty of room there. You're going to fold the ribbon in half again and fold it under. And you're going to put another strip of glue right across here. So that way when you lay it down, it's got a really nice edge to it. Let me fold that back up again. It's going to have a really nice edge to it, as you can see right there. You can match it up to the other ones, other pieces or whatever, but I try to conserve as much ribbon as I can. So, that ends our first round. Okay, now let's get ready on our second round. As you can see, I'm back to working on this. Our second tier consists of basically the first tier again. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the tube, attach 6 diapers around it. Of course, we're not going to put the lace on there, but that was just to save time, just so I can show you how to do this. And this time, we're going to do the diapers just a little bit different. Instead of putting this short fold right here on the inside, we're going to put it on the outside. Okay, it gives it just a little bit of a different look in between the layers. Oops, I got that one upside down. Okay, and we're going to go all the way around with this. So on this layer, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to try to squeeze in 12. I know that these rubber bands will hold 12, but once we get that far, we will have to put it in the plastic tub. We'll be right back with the next part. Okay, I am back. And this is the 2-tier. This is the bottom. This is after I have already completed it. As you can see, I have exchanged out the small tube with the large tube. And like I said, the way I got all the way around this piece was with this. I had filled in all of my diapers. And sometimes you might have to, after you get that second round done, what I did was I took 3 diapers and I laid them side by side and put a rubber band around it and then just filled in those gaps. So that way it held the diaper together as well as held it in place all the way around until I could get my ribbon in. And then what I did was I used the last of my blue ribbon. That's why I didn't take it off the cake. And I took the spool and I basically just wrapped it around until I could get a general idea of how big my lace would be. And then go over a few inches. So let's just cut it off about right here. We're going to pretend we've done that. Let me take the cake back out of its container. And we're going to do the exact same thing as what we did on the last round. We're going to wrap the lace all the way around it. Again, you know, the rubber bands you might have to situate it. But again, we're working inside of that plastic thing. And I wanted to take it out just simply so I could show you how we're attaching it from this side without having to have that plastic in the way. So you're going to go over a few inches and we're going to cut our ribbon. Bam, right there. Pretend we've cut it. Now over here, we're going to apply a thin line of hot glue right here. And we're going to fold it over. And make sure you do it just a little bit bigger than what it should be, just so that way you can get your fingers in behind it. Keep a glass of ice water sitting beside you just in case you get some glue on your finger. It helps to dip the finger in the ice water, and then, you know, whenever you have to try to tamp the glue into place to hold, that way it holds better and it doesn't burn you. This is what I did the other day. They say low temp glue guns. Not so true. They are hot temp glue guns. It's funny, it's in the shape of a heart though. Isn't that cute? But it hurt like the dickens, and the glue came off with the top of the blister. So keep hot glue and ice water together when you're working with them. So anyway, okay, now we've attached our lace to the bottom. And we're going to take our top tier that we have already done right here. And we're going to take this little tube out. And believe it or not, these will hold close together. Ta-da! It's out. Okay, and we're going to slide it into the top of this. Okay. Now we have the beginnings of our diaper cake. At this point, you can adjust your lace. Bring it up, you know, if you need to bring it up a little bit higher if it doesn't look like it's positioned right. And at this time, any rubber bands that you could possibly see through the outside of here or the outside of here, go ahead and reach up inside. Actually, you can do it from the top and pull them off. If you can't pull them off, the best thing to do would be take your scissors and slide. Still don't. Oh, here's my scissors. I dropped them on the floor. Just take your scissors, slide down through behind the ribbon, and just cut that right through there. Cut that rubber band. And all of a sudden, your diapers are going to go and expand and fill in and not be so loose inside of the cake. Okay. Now that we've got this together, the next thing I done is I took my little ducky. I put, no, wait a minute. No, we don't want the top to look jagged right here. Okay. So what I done is I took the colors of the cake, which are the blues. I'm not sure you can see this. And I just kind of wrapped around this tubing up here at the top. And then any loose pieces, I just kind of tucked in. So that way it looks pretty. It's not all cardboardy looking. Is that a word? Okay. The next thing I did was I took my feathers and I placed them in. Just kind of however you think looks cute. Isn't that adorable? And then we're going to, the reason I attached Ducky is because it's hard to get a little stuffed animal to attach either to the diapers or to this tubing with the paper on there. So I stuck him to a tulip, and then I just kind of stuck the tulip down in the front. So that way he rests on the front of the cake. Let me scoot this back so you can see him. Adorable. We're already getting there. I have my camera perched upon some books, so at times you might not be able to see the height of it, but I'll try to show you. The next thing I did, here, let's go ahead and put him on his plate, because the one thing we want him to do is look presentable to the public. We don't want him sitting on a table with just the diapers. So we're going to pull him out, put him on his plate. There he goes. Little ducky, you're the one. Don't you just love Sesame Street? I loved it when I was a kid. I remember him singing, little ducky, you're the one. You make bath time so much fun. So much for my singing voice. Okay, now back to our flowers, which we talked about earlier. We wrapped them all with plastic so that way nobody gets poked. It doesn't poke through the diapers. And what we're going to do is we're just going to look right underneath this tier. We're going to find a little open spot and poke a flower in. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 6, exactly what I said earlier. And then let's go over this way. And let's kind of divide the cake up. So we're going to have 3 on each side of the cake. But they are pretty close together. Oh, Ducky, you can't see what's going on anymore. He's looking out at the sun. And another one. And another one. See, they just slide right in. There's no problem with them when you put tape. If you don't put tape, you end up with somebody complaining that their diaper was a leaky diaper and it's your fault. Okay, so now we have our pretty flowers all around our cake. Scoot back and get Ducky in the picture. Next thing I done was Well, my lace isn't all that straight over here. But let's just pretend and say it is. All of our little baby charms, they come in different colors. I think there was pink and yellow and purple and green and blue. Okay, we're going to, since he is yellow, let's start out with the yellow one that's right underneath him. You can start out whichever one you want. We're just going to poke it underneath the lace right there. Okay, that way it says baby. You want the baby facing out. Actually, I don't think that one's up. I put it in backwards. Here we go. Let's put the baby facing out. And on this one, it just has a little circle. So the next one, let's change it up a little bit. We don't want to do them all exactly the same. And we're going to face that. Instead of having the word baby out, we're going to have it the other way. And we want to do on one side exactly what we do on the other. So this one over here, we're going to do the exact same way as the other blue one. And then we're going to come around this side. And we're going to put in a green that says baby facing out. Like I said, you can do it any way you want. This is my anal retentive ways of doing things. I have a pattern that I follow. And if it's not exactly, I take it apart and do it again. And that's okay because most of it you really can. You really can. Save your lace if you have to take it apart and it's already glued. Because once you have to tie your diapers back together, they actually hold and you can slip the lace right over the top of them. What did we do over here? We faced the word baby facing out. Okay, now let's get Ducky turned back around. Isn't he so cute? Starting to look totally adorable. The next thing I did is I took my Easter eggs. What did I do with my tape? Somehow I'm sitting on it. I do everything from my coffee table. And I just tear off a piece of tape. This makes it easier when you're packaging your product. And on the back of the egg, where it actually folds, that little plastic thing, that's where I'm going to attach my tape. And then I'm just going to tuck it in little areas in between the flowers. I'm not going to put them all on there right now. I just wanted to show you basically how to do this. I'll tuck another one in there. Cute little eggs. I did this one all in yellow. You can do it in whatever colors you want. God knows I purchased a big container with 120 Easter eggs in it. I have a bunch of baskets going out this week. And my grandbabies are going to be hollering, Nene, where's my Easter basket? Because I always make them one every year too. Even though their mama dibs them up on chocolate from their own Easter baskets. Let's see. Let's scoot this plate back. And you're going to just want to center it. And the way I had done it earlier was I just took some crepe paper. Actually, you know, your tissue paper. Whatever color you want. This one I had light blue and yellow, light blue and dark blue. And I took it and I folded it into where I, kind of like if you was going to do a snowflake, and just folded it in half, and then folded it in quarters, and then folded it in eighths, and whatever. And then when I got ready to cut it, I made sure that I had a piece that was about this tall, and I just did a scalloped edge around it. So that way, when it sat on the plate, it had a layer of blue and a layer of light blue, and you can just kind of, you know, make them fit in between each other, in between the scallops, so you see both colors. But that's little Ducky, and he is having so much fun sitting up on top of my cake. And don't you just love him? Okay, I hope you guys learned something from my video. If not, if there's anything else I can add to it, I would be more than happy to do so. Please, down here in the bottom, it says like, click that button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I will be posting more tutorials. Like I said, this is my first one. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you. Have a great day. Hi everybody, I'm back. As you can see, little Ducky is totally adorable. He is covered with his little Easter eggs. He's got beautiful little charms around his cake. Like I said, this is a diaper cake. If you're interested in purchasing little Ducky, he is $35. And my email address is gabbiesmeemee@gmail.com. I got my email address right after my grandson was born, so his name is Gabriel, so I put in gabbiesmeemee, and I've had it ever since. So email me. I have a PayPal account. You can email me, and I would be more than happy to send you an invoice. Any special orders require a 50% deposit down, as I live in a very small apartment and I don't have any place to store anything. I have just like a very tiny area. So leave me a message and I would be more than happy to contact you. Thank you very much for watching my video. If there's anything else different that I can do that might help this be easier to understand, please do so. When you're making your large tier, you can use, like if you have a big pan or a big Dutch oven or something like that, you can use one of those. The size of your base, it just needs to be proportionate to the size of the second tier, and as well as the second tier needs to be proportionate to the first tier if you have 3 tiers. Like I said, this is just a 2-tier cake. I have 2 and 3 tier cakes, and I'm fixing to do a 4th tier. So be on the lookout for my videos, and as I do each one of them, I will try to do a tutorial on them. And if you see anything that you like or don't like, please don't be offended to leave me a comment down at the very bottom. I would be more than happy to explain anything to you that I didn't make clear. Alright, thank you guys. Have a great day.